Let's go to Cornell. This is really an intense story. So Cornell University is part of the Ivy League. It's a very well thought of university, or at least it was. It's now ruined its reputation along with Columbia University and maybe Harvard forever. Our lifetime, not coming back. All right. And the reason the reputation of Cornell is ruined is because of the radicalism on its campus. So tomorrow, no class at Cornell. The president has called off all classes to have a quote unquote community day. That comes on the heels of a 21-year-old Cornell student, Patrick Day, arrested by the FBI for threatening Jews. That's primarily what he did. So he's being held in a federal facility in Syracuse, New York. He's going to be charged with very serious crimes. He will go to prison, this kid. He's 21 years old, junior at the Cornell. In addition to that, and this guy, we went over it yesterday, it was violent threats against Jews, which is a hate crime. So there is a Cornell professor of history, Russell Rickford. Here's what he said.
For the first time in years, it was exhilarating. It was exhilarating. It was energizing. And if they weren't exhilarated by this challenge to the monopoly of violence, by this shifting of the balance of power, then they would not be human. I was exhilarated.
So he's exhilarated by Hamas slaughtering more than 1,000 Israelis. So Rickford is suspended. It says voluntary suspension. I don't think we're going to be seeing him again at Cornell, but you never know. So I wanted to find out what the deuce is going on up there. Joining us from Providence, Rhode Island, is a Cornell University law professor, still active in the university, William Jacobson. And what I need to know, you've been there 16 years, according to the research that we have. It wasn't always this way at Cornell, was it?
No, there's no question it has gotten worse in the 16 years that I've been there. And you saw this steadily rising over the years. You've seen over the years 4 boycott resolutions introduced to student government. You've seen a group called Students for Justice in Palestine, which is actually not for justice, it's for the destruction of Israel, get more and more aggressive on campuses. You've seen faculty get more extreme in their rhetoric against Israel. So no, it's not always been this bad. I'd say it has been escalating and it got to this point, but it's worse now than it's ever been.
Who's behind the escalation? Is it the college president? Who's doing this?
I'm not sure there's one person behind what's happening at Cornell. I think it's a combination of factors. One, it's a national movement against Israel. So you can look at the boycott, divestment, and sanctions movement. You could look at the National Students for Justice in Palestine movement, who, by the way, on their protest posters against Israel, have put the paragliders that were used to attack the music festival where 270 people were killed. Some of their branches did that. So it's a combination of things. It's also a combination of faculty. So it's certainly not the president of Cornell who's instigating this, but I do think that the Cornell administration has made things worse by their heavy push on what's called diversity, equity, and inclusion, which really leaves Jews on the sidelines. So everything is now viewed through a racial focus. And the anti-Israel students and faculty use that against Israel and use that against Jewish students. So I'd say it's more a sign of the times made worse by administration policies. I don't think the administration consciously wants this to happen.
All right. I don't know about that because I'm not there. I can speak to a few colleges that I know about because I attended them. But I want to just Cornell, before all this happened, was woke. You had a bunch of incidents there where students were accused of stuff, denied due process. As you pointed out, almost everything is diversity and inclusion and all of this very, very far left stuff. The president has to know what's happening. The board of directors of Cornell have to know what's happening. And the alumni has to know. It was not a secret that this deterioration of due process, of sane thought, there have been conservative speakers shouted down at Cornell. You know all this, Professor, correct? I'm not miscategorizing him, am I?
No, you're actually not. You're spot on there. This has been a problem. I've been speaking out against it. Most people on campus are afraid to speak out against it.
Yeah, they're afraid because they'll get canceled. Everything is expensive these days, you know that. The government is printing trillions of dollars and consumer prices higher than ever. If the government continues its printing and spending, the dollar could continue its free fall and lose its coveted role as the world reserve currency. Let's hope that doesn't happen. But there are a few things you can do right now. American Hartford Gold can show you how to protect your money, your retirement, your hard-earned savings against inflation by helping you diversify a portion of your portfolio into physical gold and silver. Start with a short phone call, and they can have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your 401k or IRA. So please call or text them right now. Tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you. Call 877-444-GOLD, 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Again, that's 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.